should have a brain.
Like a brain, like a normal brain.
Yeah,
That guy that wrote us that message, do you think he has a brain?
he does.
He doesn't have a brain. He doesn't have half a brain. In fact, he doesn't have half an ant's brain in his head.
So how is he surviving?
I don't know. He's a miracle, a walking miracle. Living without a brain is a miracle. Why are you laughing?
I'm just tired of your wahala. I just
Ooh.
I just look for people that will just wake up one morning and decide that they want to come through, that they freeze or attack you. I don't have that energy. All I do is ignore.
No, no, no. Sometimes people challenge all of us, you know? Now, there's something I wanted to talk about, yeah? Real
And anyways, we
quick.
have 9 minutes.
Yeah, so let me just start, first of all. Taste Buds got a message this morning from a strange number regarding um, Sylvester Oromoni. And let me read the message to you guys. She forwarded it to
Okay.
me. Good morning, Taste Buds. She replied, Good morning. I need to talk to you. Been trying to reach Daddy Freeze. He never responded on the Sylvester issue. It's really a sad situation and unfortunate. But most of what the father said isn't true. The
Oh,
boy lost his life a week after he was taken home. When the school called for him to be taken because of his health, they did not respond immediately. Waited 2 days before coming for him. They drove a sick child to Worry. To complicate issues, they took him to church, not the hospital. The poor boy lost his life and they're blaming everyone and making stories up. None of the children traveled out or ran out. She responded, Who is this, please? What's your name? I can't give a valid info as long I can give you valid information as long as I stay anonymous. I've been with all five of the boys since Monday. Tastebuds responded, You can't counter what Sylvester's father said in the open by being anonymous. Nobody wants to hear information that cannot be verified. So here's what I want to say, and here's I love having a balanced perspective, and I do not mind if you have a counter perspective to what the perspective in the media is, and you want to share it. I don't mind you coming and sharing it, but I need you to share it with your full chest.
hmm.
Sylvester Oromoni's father shared his opinions with his full chest, with his face. Now let's address this. It says, I want to address some of the points there. Most of what the father said isn't true. The boy died a week later. Let me ask this. I know where Dowen College is. Dowen College is on the same street as one of the biggest hospitals in Lekki. Why was that boy still in school, not in that hospital? My question. Why did they come to if listen I would have absolved Dowen College of all blame if the parents came to pick their child from a hospital. He was still in school. What business did he have being in school? Because if that child was truly sick, they would not be able to discharge him from the hospital. Do you know?
Yeah.
Your parents cannot go to the hospital and say, It's our son, want to take him home. No, the hospital is not going to release the child. So the first flaw in your own statement is, what was the child still doing in school? If you are saying the child was too sick to go to Worry, then what's he doing in school? That child should have been on admission, in my humble opinion. At that fault me. Oh. Another thing they raise that I have an issue with is the school. When the school called him to be taken because of his health, they did not respond immediately. So the school calls the father to come and take the child, and the father did not respond immediately, and the child was still kept in school. because the father is a magician that is going to come and heal the child. As the father no gree come, wetin school suppose do? No be to go put am for hospital, because I don't think I'm getting this. So if the father did not come, so if the father had taken another 5 days to show up, the child will still be there doing in you people's sick bay, when there's one of the biggest hospitals in Lekki on your street, literally walking distance. If there were no cars, you could have put that boy on an Okada and taken him to that place. If there were no Okadas, you could have carried him on your back. It's literally a 10-minute walk. The school is exactly in the middle of that street. The hospital is at the beginning of the street. Yes, it's a bit of a long street, but it's not something you cannot cross in 10-15 minutes. So this child is so sick, you are now waiting for the father. Oh, you are trying to save. Is it money you are trying to save? No, I'm just trying to pick reason from what he said. Evercare, that's the name of the hospital. God bless you. Now they said waited 2 days later before coming for him. So they don't seize their light. Anyway, we live in an estate that has 24 hours electricity, so the electricity will come back. So back to what I was saying, and I need this. So if the father took 2 days to come, should he not have come and met his child inside hospital? Now, if you had shown up and you had asked these questions, these are the questions I will ask you one-on-one. Am I making sense, Ada?
Yeah.
So, I think there are many things we got wrong in this part of the world. We live in Nigeria. Do you know how expensive air tickets are? Do you know how hard? Let me give you an example. My daughter, for instance, or my mom, let me talk of my mom. My mom is in Ado-Ekiti. Do you know, if I want to go to Ado-Ekiti, for instance, my mom calls and says, I need to come now, there's an emergency. I can't go. I'll be lucky if I can get a flight in the next 3 days. There's only one flight, and it doesn't go to Ado-Ekiti. It goes to, where's that place called? It goes to, I've forgotten where it goes to, and then my mom will send her driver to come and pick you. And there's just one flight a day. One. If you miss that flight till the Akure, God bless you. So only one flight a day to Akure. So also, my mother says, come now. I'm going to quickly pull out one of my kidneys and sell so I can have to travel. As a school that they have entrusted a child to, and it's not like there's a paucity of hospitals. You are right in the middle of where there are hospitals. The child, the father coming is not, I don't know what he's doing in the equation. The father did not come on time. If the father likes, he should not have come for a whole year. The school should be able to take care of a child in its custody.
Okay, Daddy Freeze, I never attended a boarding school and I am not a mom yet, yes. But I just want to ask, the school, do they have the right to, take one's child to the hospital without getting the consent of the parent?
Of course, it's a hospital. I have the right to take you, Ada, to the hospital and admit you. So listen to, so Ada, as you are like this, imagine you just fainted. Maybe a month ago, you and Mr. E play match. The thing enter, background. You don't know, say you don't enter. You just faint. You don't know, say I feel rush to go hospital. Log you inside the hospital self. Now when you wake up 3 days later, I can't realize, say,
I'm not a child.
If you were a child, I can rush my neighbor's child to the hospital. Of course, there's nothing stopping you from, as long as you took the person to a standard hospital. There are some hospitals you will take somebody's child to, the person will say, if it was me, I will not take my child to this hospital. But Evercare is the biggest hospital in Lekki. When you are entering Lekki phase 1, you will see it Gidigbi, you will see it Bagada, you will see Yakata in front of you like this. You cannot miss it. White building like this. So the school actually acts like your parents when the parents are not there.
Okay.
So now they say they took him to church, not the hospital. We cannot verify that.
Exactly what I like to say.
We cannot verify that, especially when you are saying this without showing your face. So, okay, you are saying Sylvester's father came to take Sylvester and took him straight to church, not to hospital. You that want to say it with your chest. So that tomorrow Sylvester's father can come and show you picture that no, it was not church, it was hospital. It's a lot of hearsay. Then you're also saying none of the children traveled out. Can we know which of the children that you even have in custody? What are their names? Where are the children?
And the person also said something that I am struggling with.
Yes.
The person said he or she, the anonymous person, said, let me just go with he, that has been with the person for the 5 children for days now. How? So you assembled all of them in one room or what? Who are you to all 5 of them?
Then another thing that was said again was he said, but Mr. Sylvester might just damage the future of innocent children because he's grieving. This is my perspective. I am a father to children who just finished secondary school, are in secondary school, and are in primary school. If there's anything I understand is how to relate with schools. Let me get this across. In my humble opinion, the school failed in its response to this. I tell people this all the time. Go and get social media managers. Every organization in 2021 needs to have a team that manages what gets online. Is either the school took the wrong steps or the school did not have a proper team that informed the public of what they were taking. Let me tell you, people say, hey, it's not everything you respond to. There are some things that you don't respond to, you get into trouble. Oh. You know this whole idea, hey, don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything. It's not in 2021. No. Get a proper team that will speak about you in social. Let me tell you, they will judge you. They will be judge and jury on social media before your case reaches court. They will have judged you. You can go to court and win and come out 10 years later with a victory. Nobody's going to answer you. The school did not manage the publicity well, in my humble opinion. I work on social media, I live on social media, I eat from social media, so I can tell you the truth. They needed to have a proper team. They needed to have speedy response. That kind of thing. But Bram, we are on top of this. We're commiserating with the father. You know what? Our school is short. They needed to close their own school by themselves indefinitely. For now, our school is closed indefinitely. They didn't need the government to come and tell them that the school is closed. Because you see, at that stage, people needed to tell them that, look, whatever you do at this stage, the world is looking. That one that they said, you know what, we will close the school for 2 days, then we move online. They should never have said anything like online. Maybe 1 month later, maybe 3 weeks later, because it now looks like, oh, you've collected people's money. You now want to do exam. No, manage the situation well. If I were their social media manager, I would have said nothing like exam. Forget exam. Let everybody sit at home. They will not die. First, deal with the grieving family. Because whether you like it or not, your response to this, even if you are not at fault, is going to rub off negatively or positively on the future or potential customers. It could happen to anyone who has a child in school. Your child could have been bullied when no one was looking. Children can be very mean. The moment the teacher takes his eye off like this, the students enter. It's not the incident. As far as I am concerned, it is the response. You can't control, you've spilled the milk. You can't gather the milk that you've spilled. But you can handle how you handle the spilled milk better. And if they drop the ball, in my humble opinion, it is in their response. So Adam,
Hello, Daddy Freeze.
that's as far as I can go. I don't want to take much of your time. Thank you so much for a beautiful week with you. I absolutely love and adore you, and I look forward to working with you next week. And to all our customers on Live and Dangerous, big shout out to Mr. Ikechuku, Frank. Moses did not call today. Be like say the matter too strong for him. And everybody else, do take care. We love you. And next week it will be live and not so dangerous. We'll try to tone it down a little. This week we fought too much. Next week we'll just play small. Eh?
Okay.
All right,
Thank you
guys.
for
Take
sharing.
care.
All right. Night.
All right, Pepper Room. How are you doing?
Hello,
Did
Daddy
you catch
Freeze.
from the beginning?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Yes, I was listening to you.
Okay. About the letter. Oops. Sorry, Ada is calling me. Hang on 1 second.
You by 12:30
Yeah.
or later. But Daddy Freeze, I'm just so how do I put it? I'm very shocked at. Well, I'm not shocked, but I'm just surprised that Dowen College is going back on their story again. Because I thought that we've already moved forward. I thought we were already at a place where we all know that he didn't. It wasn't from a football accident. It wasn't because they're
Thank
playing
you.
football.
Sorry,
Because
sorry. I didn't Pepper Room. I did not even mention that. The school
right,
should never have released that. You see, this covering up that football accident makes them look bad. Those kind of
very
things, you would come and say, we are looking into this. That shifting of blame, no, that to me, that was what drove the first nail into the coffin. That,
right.
you say it is football, and then the stories start coming out that it's not football. You all need to be very
Mm-hmm.
careful.
Right. It's just sad because it makes me think that we cannot leave our kids in the care of these students, these schools. Because it shouldn't be a crime to want to take your child to a school in Nigeria. It shouldn't be something that people should be scared of. And it's just painful to me that these schools are like they're continuing. It's like they have some sort of balls or backing to lie in our face. They seem like there's no consequences to any of their actions. So that's what is hurting me about this as well. And them constantly trying to make it seem as if they feel bad for Sylvester's family when the family told us that the principal did not call them. The principal did not call them. The only principal only called them to tell them that why did you post the video? That's why you call them. So them acting as if they care, I don't believe it. I don't think it's genuine. It comes off as disingenuous to me. So that whole going on a rampage or when he shared, I don't believe them at all. That it is, I don't trust them in any way, shape, or form. And that's just what it. That's just how I am right now.
I
With
agree with you. I
everything going on.
agree with you. And here's the thing: if the school wants to share a perspective that is honest, because if you come on my live, I will ask you questions. I'm not dumb. So
Right,
if you come and you
right.
are honest, even where we dropped the ball here, it wasn't our fault. There was a
Mm-hmm.
gap in communication, which we promise will not happen again because we have sacked this teacher. People want to hear sack.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They want to hear that, okay, one person has been sacked, one person has been jailed. That is what people want to hear now. Our school has been closed indefinitely by ourselves before government even closed us. We closed our school. Those are the kind of
Mm-hmm.
that's what the street wants to hear. You will
Absolutely.
lose a few customers if you went down that route. You will lose a few customers on the short term, but you will gain them back on the long term. Right now, with the way they went, they are going to lose both on the short and the long.
Exactly.
In my
Exactly.
humble
Because people
opinion and
feel they
my
can't trust them.
understanding, because I will not put my children in a school where I can't
Hell no.
trust them. Trust is paramount. Trust is the first thing. I want to know that my children are safe. I want to know that if I'm not there, let me give you an example of what happened to a friend of mine. She went abroad and was in the UK. Her child was in boarding school. She's a single mom. And then Britain announced that they are going on lockdown. This was in 2020, first lockdown. She struggled to do whatever it is she could, but could not get a ticket to. You know the way tickets would be
Right.
crazy.
But
Now, if she had a British passport or an American passport, she can literally look for a country and she had money. Okay, Germany is not on lockdown. Let me go to Germany.
mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Then from Germany, I'll go to
Right.
Ghana. Then from Ghana, I'll enter Nigeria by road.
By road.
She had a Nigerian passport with a Nigerian visa. She could not go with a British visa, 5-year visa or 2-year visa. I've forgotten which one. She was literally stuck in the UK for 8 months.
Wow.
And her child was in school. So all of a sudden, rules are going to have to be bent because they say you must come and sign for the child yourself. How do I sign? I'm in the UK. So there are instances where, in that situation, how the school handles that situation is life and death.
Right.
She had to use her friend to go to the school to pick up the child, and the child had to stay with her friend for 6 months. Things happen. And guess what? She only traveled for a week. It's not like she traveled and said, oh, you know what, I'm going for 1 week and got stuck. So someone
Oh,
someone is
college
here
can
saying
handle
at
that.
times we need to look at the problem from the bottom before we start to blame. That's a rather insensitive thing to say because it's not your child that is involved.
Right.
My problem with the school is not more so what happened, is how this was handled. This guy said that it took 2 days for the father to come and collect the child, and the child was still in school for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
That child had no
And you
business.
sent the child back to the hostel.
I kept the child back to the hostel. That child should have been on intensive care in a hospital.
Things.
If it took the father 5 days, so okay, so what? Imagine this child, the father and the mother were abroad and there was lockdown for 6 months. That's how you'll have kept the child in the hostel, waiting for somebody to come and sign for the child. Now, you see, sometimes, there are too many chains of commands in these organizations. There is the owner of the school. Now, a teacher cannot take a financial decision like taking a child to a 1 million naira hospital. Only the owner of the school can take such a decision. Do you understand? Because I know
But they should have clauses like that. If it's when I was in high school and I had a tooth problem, they took me to the dentist. And if it's your parents that will pay for it at the end of the session, then that's going to happen. Or if they have to pay for it, they'll pay for it.
Absolutely.
But if they can take us to the dentist, why can't they take you to intensive care?
Absolutely.
That's strange to me. Because I'm sure if they told their parents that, look, we have to take him to this hospital, we need this particular signature, or, is this serious and you need to pay for it, the mother and the father will have paid for it. I don't think that would have been a problem in any way, shape, or form. So the fact that they couldn't take him to the hospital for me is, they should have clauses in place with all these admissions. What if something happens that is severe? So are they saying that
the
they
sick bay or
cannot
the
take kids to
nurse
the
or the
hospital?
matron in the school cannot handle? What's the next
That's
point
strange.
of call?
Well, the school said they have a medical doctor. So if the medical doctor can authorize him being transferred to
Hold
another
on.
unit.
A medical doctor is not a magician. When you go to a place like Evercare, because I've had a family member who had cancer rush to a hospital before, and the person had to be on what you call barrier nursing because their immunity had really dropped.
Okay.
Now, barrier nursing is nobody's allowed to see the patient because they can catch bugs or can catch anything, so they need to be kept in a barrier. You can't do that in a sick bay. Of course, a doctor understands what barrier nursing is, but they need necessary equipment. Do you understand? When you get to a hospital like Evercare, even if the child is diabetic, whatever the problem is, I'm sure even there they have dialysis. Should that child have problem with the kidneys, they can plug the child to a dialysis machine. There's nothing they cannot do with regards to instantaneous life-saving devices and decisions. A doctor is not a magician. He's not going to plug the child to the silencer of his car. How much equipment can they possibly have in their sick bay?
Yeah, okay, Daddy Freeze. If they don't have the equipment in the sick bay, then they're not being honest, because what the school told us is they have a medical doctor that is on seat. So if a medical doctor examines a patient that is in the school, because that's not the nurse, it was the nurse that gave him ibuprofen, according to the school. They gave him ibuprofen, they took him because the pain subsided, and they allowed him to go back to the hostel, and they brought him back because he proceeded. When things like that happen, the medical doctor now says, okay, this is beyond our care, I need to transfer him. That's the next course of action. They don't need to have the certain standard of equipment. If they can't handle it, they will transfer it. That's what they're meant to do immediately.
So them saying that the father came to pick the child from the school already is a flaw in their in the architecture of
the guardian have to take
defense.
him for X-ray. That's what first.
So the guardian having to take him for X-ray.
What was negligence? This boils down to negligence. That's what this boils down to.
So the school is watching him, waiting for the guardian to come and take him. And this school is not 5 kobo. It's not those schools that we can say, okay, because they are not really making money, it's a struggle.
Right. It's not a struggle.
So guys, this narrative is not something I'm buying. Pepperoon, my darling, thank you so much for coming. I just wanted to address this because I know people are going to come with counter narratives and counter perspectives. And trust me, of course, you are allowed to have any counter narrative or perspective that you may choose. However, one thing you're not entitled to have is your own facts. And whether it's before a court of competent jurisdiction or the court of public opinion, like we're sharing right here, you will be cross-examined. If you come on Daddy Freeze Live, I will cross-examine you. I'll ask you questions. And when you answer a question, I'll bring out some files. Say, okay, you said this. And this is also what they said in the media. Please, can you help us throw light on it? And at the end of the day, if you're not being sincere, you will be dribbled into a corner. Now, for instance, if Sylvester's father comes and says, my son did this, and then under cross-examination, it is found to be untrue, he will enjoy what is called the protection by sympathy. If it was your own child or something like that happened to, how many of the facts do you remember? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The school is not going to enjoy that because they'll say, hey, you people were thinking straight. He wasn't thinking straight. Something just happened to his son. He has the right to forget a few things, and he'll still enjoy public sympathy. So you need to understand that as a school, you have to especially a school that has boarding facilities, you have to Imagine
Yeah,
if
you're
you
meant
had
to have
you had a
standards.
child
You're meant to
of
have
a British
systems in
diplomat.
place,
Imagine you had a child of a
and you have to
British
answer
diplomat in your
questions.
school.
Yeah,
The whole British government is going to come after your school.
straight up.
Do you understand? So you need to have proper machinery in place. If you need to take a decision and I'm not there, make this person take the decision. Let there be some people that can sign. Okay, you know what? Moving to Evercare now. If Sylvester had been in Evercare and died,
That's a
it would
whole
have been
different conversation.
a totally different conversation. You probably would have
Conversation.
spent $1 million or two, maybe three, but you will have saved that one. You just close your own school by yourself for 2 weeks and then resume your normal.
I did something. This is what I did when I found out about the situation. This is the action that my school took when we learned about these incidents. This is what we did to make it right.
Do you understand?
Right.
Then the next day, you don't come and tell us that he played football. Don't. The next day you find out that, oh, it has come to our attention that there's the rumor or there's a possibility of a case of bullying. The 5 children who were mentioned have been suspended indefinitely while investigations are going on. Throw them under the bus. Save yourself.
Straight up.
Throw them under the bus. Hey, it's them, it's not us. The teacher that was on duty has been sacked. Throw him under the bus. If you truly care about the future of all your other students, some people have to be students. They have to be scapegoats. If it means you as you are sacking,
well, because they did something wrong.
Just go home. We will pay you the rest of your salary for this year.
You know,
we'll just go home. Your salary every month for the rest of the year, we'll pay it while you look for another job. Throw the bullies under the bus. Throw the teacher under the bus. The security guard, the doctor, sack all of them and make it public. This is what we've done, this is what we've done, this is what we've gone. Then 1 month later, oh, the doctor was not at fault. We've hired the doctor back. We realized that he's not at fault. Out of the 5 children mentioned, we found out that this particular one has nothing to do with the case. He has been invited back into school. The public will be confident in your abilities. This is my humble opinion. So that's as far as we can go. Thank you all so much. Do take care and God bless you all.
Thank you, Dr. Chris.